Hello, Cancer. Welcome to Soul Good. I'm Amber Marie, and this is your May 2022 Tarotscope. If you're curious about the decks that I'm using today, you can find a list of them in the description box below. You can also find links to my social media accounts, as well as links to information on personal readings and the Soul Good membership channel on Telegram. If you've seen a Tarotscope reading from me before, this is probably going to look a lot different, but nonetheless, I do want to share that this is a general reading, not a personal reading, so do only take what resonates and leave the rest. All right, so Cancer, I do want to share with you that as I was coming into your reading, I got this energy or this message of needing to really give back to yourself and really care for yourself. More specifically, your physical body. So in your reading last month, there was this energy of like a growth spurt taking place, a spiritual growth spurt. And I feel like your body's trying to play keep up. So if in your most recent past you've been experiencing like things going on with your body, physical symptoms, maybe your joints are hurting, maybe headaches, um, maybe feeling lightheaded or, things like this. I don't want to say that it's something that is lasting, right? I don't feel like this would be a lasting energy, but it may come and go. Which, by the way, I'm no doctor, so I'm just a girl on YouTube. Don't listen to anything I fucking say. But it feels to me like this could be energy that you're picking up on, or that's manifesting in your physical body because your body's trying to adjust to the new energetic frequency that you're holding, right? So our spirit, our soul, is limitless. It has no bounds. Our physical body, not so much, right? And anything that we experience energetically speaking affects our body physically. Okay. So I just feel the need to share with you that I'm really getting this energy to make sure that you're taking care of your physical body. I would even go so far as to, talk to your body. What do you need from me right now? And I know that sounds really weird and woo woo and whatever, but like legit, talk to your body. Like, do I need water? Like, do I want water? Do I want juice? Do I want, tea? Do I want fruit? Do I want vegetables? Do I want meat? Do I want bread? Like, I would be asking your body what it needs. And you may be surprised at some of the answers it gets. I am getting like this very like my mouth is like dry but salivating at the same time, which makes no sense at all. And so I feel like there's a need here for you to maybe increase your water intake, right? Like it feels almost as if you're like salivating for what you need, but you're thirsty. So I feel like you could be needing to like increase your water intake during the month of May if you haven't already been doing this. Again, take what resonates, leave the rest. So let's jump in and see what you have going on for you this month. Please, Father, Mother, Life, Universe, Spirits, Guides, Angels, our cosmic team, our ancestors, our higher selves, what can you tell us, please, about Cancer and May 2022? Thank you. 2 cards coming out for you. You have the crumbling. What are you clinging on to? Here's the thing. This is very similar to the Tower energy in the tarot. And I'm picking up that you are experiencing a crumbling of foundations that no longer serve you. This could be old ways of being, old belief systems, old patterns, old habits, old victim stories. It feels to me like there are cycles that are trying to end, especially because I feel like you've gone through this growth spurt. When we reach new levels, new devils come, right? And so it feels to me like you have done this work, and have begun to rise even further, up in your awareness and your spirituality, thus bringing in more things that need to be addressed, right? So it feels to me like you're kind of going through, I mean, it does feel like a growth spurt, but it feels like you're getting like hit with like acceleration after acceleration after acceleration. I feel like God's like, we've got to get this moving, right? So it does feel to me almost like a bombardment, excuse me, of things just happening. But I feel like there's a message here that you need to know that this is for your highest good, that these things are happening to show you what needs to be released. Okay. You also have here devotion, or excuse me, inner temple devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. And I'm getting a blocked throat now. I don't know if you could hear that or not. But I started to get like this blocked throat. So I do feel like there's a lot here about expressing your truth, and that could be what this crumbling is about, right? Perhaps you're clinging to what your truth is, how I'm picking this up, right? Like clinging to your truth, holding it close to you, not expressing it. And there's a need to do that, a need to, release that block in your throat, to honor yourself, right? And honor your truth. I'm picking up. But additionally, with this inner temple and devotion, um, I I feel like there is again a need to really give back to you and really take care of you. I mean, here's the thing. Um, I want to lovingly say first, let me just pause because I did see 555 just now on the camera, which is interesting because we are going into the month of May, right? Which is the number 5. And we've just seen 5 again for you, which is a number of change and conflict, instability. It is also an energy of movement and fluctuation. And here's the thing, I feel like the instability is the part that's coming out the most, the instability and the change, because you're being, again, put in alignment, or are trying to be put into alignment with a higher vibrational frequency to keep you ascending, to keep you growing more and more aware, and to grow your spirituality. So I feel you may be seeing 5s this month and not just on your calendar, okay? But I do feel like there is a message here about being devoted to yourself and what it is that you need and want. Cancer, I love you guys so much because you have the biggest hearts and you're you're just so full of love. I love your guys' energy. But you cannot just keep dumping from your cup. I feel like you guys, like this is a reoccurring theme for Tarotscopes for you guys, and I feel like it's a big part of the lessons that you're learning. So again, I feel like this is really about you expressing yourself and really being devoted to your own heart, your own truth. And I want to say, religious or not, if you are feeling like the crumbling is crushing you, okay, if it just feels like this constant bombardment and you're like, I just can't keep up with this, if that's what you're feeling, lean back into your creator, your source, right? God, whatever it is you call it, give it to source, right? Let source, who is capable of coming up with solutions that your mind is incapable of thinking of, let your source bring you the solutions. Stop trying to carry the weight all by your little self. Like, this is how I'm seeing it, right? With this woman here kneeling down, and like, I feel it's being shown to me as almost like carrying the weight and it becoming too heavy, it becoming crushing and needing to give some of that back to source because you're not meant to carry it anyways. Okay. The bottom of the deck here is Imrama. Where are you being called to journey to? And here's the thing. There are times that this card comes through and I get the feeling of like a physical place. This is not one of those times. This journey that I feel is calling you is one of inner reflection, of inner journey, of traveling within self, because I really feel here that you are, it feels to me like there are facets of yourself yet to be uncovered that are imperative to your spiritual journey. And the way that it's coming through is very much so like there needs to be a lesson learned here about truly honoring you. And I don't feel like you can truly honor you if you aren't looking at you, right? If you're not being truthful and honest about what you want, if you're holding all these things in and not actually giving back to you or expressing them and honoring you and your needs and your wants and your thoughts and your feelings, like you can't move forward, right? Like you can't, you have to be willing to give back to you. You have to. And so I feel like that's a big message coming through for you here. And I want to say too, just take a walk through these cards with me real quick. Look at how tall this tower is, and as if you're standing at the bottom peering up, okay? Look how tall these pillars are in comparison to this person who's kneeling. And look how big the building is here compared to this being in the card, right? This is all showing me that the things that you are trying to tackle and deal with are, it's like it's bigger than you. It's too big. First of all, your path, your soul purpose is bigger than you as an individual person, right? And the weight that you are carrying is bigger than what you are capable of carrying on your own. So it's that need to give some of that back to source. Like, I love that you want to save the world, but it's not your job. It's not your job. Like, I love you so much for that, but it's not your job. Okay. What else does Cancer need to know for May 2022, please? What else does Cancer need to know for May 2022, please? Thank you. You do have the whale and the otter, so both water energies. Interesting. And here's the thing. This is what's fascinating. The whale is a representation of diving deep, right? Going deep within, reconnecting with the depths of yourself, and about singing your song, right? Expressing your truth. Okay. And I feel here that it's time. Like, I feel, here's the thing. I'm going to say this, and I want you to know that it comes from a place of so much love. You have to be willing to dive deep, or you're going to repeat cycles, the same cycles over and over and over and over and fucking over again. Because it's like, again, the same messages keep coming up for you, like all the time, all the time. These messages come up for you about taking care of yourself, whether it's in the Facebook reels that I do on the Soul Good page, or, you know, if it's on a reading, like the same things keep coming up about giving back to you, taking care of you, right? And so it's like, how many more times does it need to be said? How many more times do you need to be shown? Like, you have to give back to you, and deeply, and dive deeply into you. Because here's the thing, I want to lovingly tell you that all that giving that you're doing to like with everyone else, though it is beautiful, though it is something that can be an expression of God's work, and that beautiful love and light is absolutely fucking needed. Okay? You give to other people so extensively to avoid giving to yourself for whatever reason, whether that's because you don't feel worthy, because you don't feel like you're enough, because you feel like you need to be punished, whatever it is, you give so much to other people in avoidance of I don't know, this could be for someone very specific, because I'm not going to pretend to know what it's like to be a Cancer. I don't even have any Cancer in my chart, okay? But intuitively, this is what I'm picking up on. And again, it could be for someone specific, but that consistent giving and giving and giving and giving and giving and never giving to you is an avoidance of what you actually need in your own life. Right? So there needs to be something addressed there. You also have the otter, and the otter is an energy of playfulness, of excitement, of fun and adventure. And I feel like this is what you need more of in your life, Cancer, because again, I feel like you're giving to everyone else, and you're taking that giving seriously, which is beautiful because it comes from a loving place. Like, I'm not saying like you're giving and knowingly, oh my gosh, this is why I'm giving to other people, so I avoid giving to myself. Like, I don't think you're moving through life knowing that. Like, 100, okay? But, ooh, I'm getting like this weird pain and fear coming up, really, burpee energy, which is fear. It needs to be released. Um, I do feel like the love you give is coming from a very beautiful place, but it's like you take it so seriously, and then you don't give back to yourself, and or if you do, it's far and few in between, right? And so it's now become like, it just feels to me like life in general has become so fucking serious. Why? Even giving has become serious. Why? Right? There's this need to bring like a playful energy into your reality, into your experience, right? And I feel like it's almost like this energy of like diving deep with that whale to find your inner child, right? Like I don't know. Again, this could be for somebody very specific, but like it really feels to me like it's like it's almost this energy of like taking things so seriously and not really diving deep on yourself. So like everything, I don't want to say everything, but like when it comes to you and your feelings and your truth, like the depths of who you are, it all feels very surface level, right? Like it all feels very like I'll give glimpses of my depth, but this is not a place I live in. This is not a place that I stick around in for too long. Which is interesting because there's like a seriousness around your energy, but you don't want to sit in seriousness. I don't understand it at all. Maybe it makes sense to you if this resonates, but like it feels very much to me like there's a need to kind of break open, dive deep, bring out the inner child. Like you need this in your life. You need this in your life. And here's the thing, like I want to say, if you're not really like old, okay, and old to me, which, let me just share my perspective so you kind of get a grasp at where I'm sitting. Old to me is like, I mean, look at Betty White, you guys. Like she was old in age, but like her spirit, no fucking way. She's probably younger than me, right? And I'm fixing to be 35. So like for me, I just feel like if you feel old by our human construct or bullshit definitions, you know, I feel like it's because you yourself are not sitting in a childlike energy. You're not creating, you're not, playing. Or if you are, it's fleeting. It's like few and far in between. It's not something that you embody on a day to day or even an every other day basis, right? So it's like this is manifesting in your physical body because it's like that's what you're taking on. Serious, old, like meh. Like I'm actually getting like this very like grumpy old man face in my head right now. Okay. The bottom of the deck is the owl. And here's the thing. I feel like there is some part of you that knows this to some extent. Again, I don't feel like you're just walking around like giving to people because you purposefully are like, I'm not giving to myself, right? Like, I don't feel like you're fully aware of that. But I feel like there is some part of you that knows that you don't give to you enough. If nothing else, I feel like you know that part. And that wisdom within you, that ancient wisdom within you, is it's been trying to show you, right? It's been trying to show you, but here it is. It's still at the bottom of the deck, so it's still not being acknowledged. It's still not being brought into your reality, and it needs to be. It's waiting, literally waiting. What else does Cancer need to know for May 2022, please? Just one card. Okay. You have the Temperance card here. I mean, this could be important for you, Cancer. Maybe you're dealing with a Sagittarius, okay? Maybe you'll have a Sagittarius come into your life, or could be important to you. Maybe you have a lot of Sagittarius in your chart. But with the Sagittarius card coming out, first of all, let me just share that this is, for me, you see the wings there and the white light behind his head. This is always a card of like the divine playing in your life, you know, divine intervention, divine orchestration, divine timing, all being a part of your reality and you being supported by the divine. Okay. So I do want to share that you are not alone by any means. But I'm getting this energy of like needing that balance, right? And here's the thing, I feel like you will find that, or it will come easier to you once you find the meaning, like your purpose, you know, finding what you're meant to be doing. I feel like once you sink more into that reality, you will start to feel more alive. But again, you can't find that until you dive deep. And I feel like this is the message coming through here, is like, finding that meaning is going to take you diving deep. It's going to take you being introspective. It's going to take you playing in your reality to find out what it is that you're meant to be doing. Okay? Because, for example, like you guys, I never in a million years would have thought that I would be sitting on YouTube doing tarot. Ever. Ever. But I got a feeling one day, and a little while later, I bought a deck of cards, and I literally did not know a damn thing. Not one thing. I didn't look anything up. I didn't fucking research. I didn't nothing. I just bought 2 decks and just started playing with them. Next thing you know, boom. So I just am sharing that because you won't know until you get out there and fuck around and find out. Literally. Right? Like you have to be comfortable with just messing around with like following different things and playing and finding what it is that you're meant to be doing. Because you sitting, right, in this energy of like, I don't even know. It's almost like just taking what comes your way, right? Like it feels very much like I'm not moving. I'm just waiting for the things to like come to me. And I feel like Spirit's like, that's not how this is going to work. Like you have to be willing to put in that effort, that deep dive. You have to be willing to let things go. You have to be willing to be devoted to what your heart is speaking and saying and what your intuition is guiding you to do in order to create this momentum, in order to find that meaning and thus create balance in your life, right? You have to be willing to give to yourself. You have to be willing to listen to yourself, because even if you knew what your meaning was, if you're not willing to give to yourself while also giving to other people, you're not even going to be able to fulfill the meaning anyway. Right? Like you're also, it's 11:11, just so you know. Awakening, spiritual ascension. I'm sorry, you guys. But you're like, you, even if you found your meaning, you wouldn't be able to do nothing about it because you're not willing to give to you, and you have to be willing to do that. Like I say that so lovingly. I would not have the level of awareness that I have now had I not like been uncomfortable as fuck and giving back to myself all the time. It has been so hard for me to learn how to say no, to put up boundaries, to not answer my fucking phone or my Facebook or whatever. And to say, these are the outlines of where I'm at. And like, that's it, period. Right? So again, take it as it resonates, right? But I just feel like in order to find that balance, in order to find that meaning, right, there needs to be this ability to dive deep, this ability to be open to what's to come, what you find rather, okay, and to implement those things into your life, like 7 of Swords at the bottom of the deck, coming clean, rethinking your approach. Literally what I was just saying. You cannot make this shit up, right? Like you can't, like, again, even if you had your meaning, you wouldn't be able to implement it into your life without giving to yourself, because You even acknowledging the fact that you found your meaning is honoring you. Right? And if you can't honor you, you can't accept that as your purpose, as your task, as your reason for being here. And I want to say that a lot of the time, it is a lot bigger than you. Right? So if you can't even give back to little you, like, you know what I'm saying? Like your human self, your soul plans are so much bigger than your little human self. Like, how are you going to be able to give that to you if you can't give you the little things first, even? Right? So this is really about you coming clean with you, being honest with yourself. Again, what are you clinging to? Rethinking your approach, tuning into your truth, the portal of your heart, honoring your truth and what comes through, what you find out about you, discover about you, and maybe giving some of the shit you're carrying to God, your creator, source, whatever you want to call it, because it's not yours to carry and it's literally weighing you the fuck down. None of these people really, I mean, she is kind of standing, but she's wading through water, so she has her limitations as well. But none of these other people that are actually out in your spread are standing. None of them. This is at the bottom of the deck, so it doesn't really count, but still kneeling, sitting, kneeling, like no one is standing. And it's because it feels to me like you're literally crushing yourself underneath the weight of all the shit you're carrying that you're not supposed to be anyways. So let some of that go. Rethink that approach and give yourself the ability to see yourself and honor yourself, because I feel like that is what is coming up for you this month. And that is how you create more growth. That is how you continue to go through this growth spurt. That is how it becomes less heavy. That is how it becomes less dense. Like it feels so sludgy to me, right? That's how you start to create movement in your reality. Okay, so Cancer, that is what I have for you for this month. I want to thank you so very much for being here and spending your time and energy with me. I am truly so very grateful. I am sending you so much love, tons and tons of hugs. Please do remember to take care of your beautiful soul this month, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.